What's going on, Infanity TV? You already know me. It's DJ Trice, and I am here with LA Sparks Weekly again. We are in the studio. The Sparks just played the Las Vegas Aces. Unfortunately, they couldn't bring home the win, but we live in the studio, and I got a very special guest today because Michael Matthews not feeling well. So make sure you keep it locked here. We're going straight into the show, y'all. Let's do it. Sparks fans, we are live in the studio with another episode of the LA Sparks Weekly Show, and I have a special guest in the studio. Everybody welcome Khari to the set here today. Khari, what's going on? How are you?
Excited what's happening. I'm glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. Filling in for Michael Matthew, y'all, so give him some shout-outs in the comments to let him know we're thinking of him today. What did you think about the game today? The LA Sparks just lost to the Las Vegas Aces. 89-82, such a close game. What are your first thoughts about the game?
My first thoughts, I just love how they played and how they really played hard, and they fought. It wasn't like a blowout and nothing like that. They really showed up. You had like 4 players in double figures and things of that nature. Rakia Jackson with 13 points off the bench, I feel like that was huge. So you can see, and the coach knows that it's a build season, so he realizes that. So I feel like he can take some great things from this game.
Right, and I totally agree with you. I like the energy that we saw here today. Let's talk about some of the starters here. We had Dearica Hamby with 29 points. Lexie Brown with 16. She rolled her ankle in the fourth quarter, and then Kia Nurse with 13. Those were the leaders. We did have a couple of starters who really didn't score, with Cameron Brink 2 points and Laisha Clarendon. Cameron Brink with 3 points and Laisha Clarendon with 2 points. What do you think about that starting five's performance today?
Well, I think they performed pretty well, but we need more points from Cameron Brink. Though I know she played hard, and she had to go against
Asia Wilson.
She had to go against Asia Wilson. She had to fight against her. So I think that it's going to be tough to score against her.
Yep. And my biggest thing with Cameron Brink, and we talked about it multiple times on the show, and we've actually talked to Coach Miller about it too, is those fouls. And the problem is we've seen it multiple times today. She's not jumping straight up and going vertical. She's curving her body a little bit and going in and giving those elbows. So I think if Cameron really can work out like Coach Miller said, if she can figure out a way to stay out of foul trouble, we can see more points from her because she is getting a lot of defensive touches, and they were doing a great job doubling Asia Wilson with her and Dearica Hamby, Let's talk a little bit about Dearica Hamby. She was a part of that first Vegas championship team. What are your thoughts today on her performance specifically?
I think she really showed up, and she played hard. She had like over 20-plus points.
Yeah, she had 29 points tonight.
And she, especially going against the Aces with everything that went down. And she knows she has a chip on her shoulders. And she said multiple times she's coming for the MVP spot. So
yeah.
I feel like she showed up today and proved the point. But they needed that win, though.
They did. We needed the win, but to be honest, going into it, when you're playing a championship back-to-back Vegas team, you know that it's going to be tough. But, y'all, we got the press conference coming. Let's take it directly into the press conference where we'll be talking to Coach Miller and a couple other players.
Moral victories in pro basketball for coming close, but what we look like after 12 days of practice with a lot of new pieces is really exciting about where we can be and where we're going in this direction of the team. Our veterans were tremendous tonight, led by Dearica's career high, just was relentless to the rim. The other night, we got outscored in that opening game by large margin in the paint. And for us to flip the switch tonight and outscore them in the paint by nearly 20 against a team that consistently outscores people in the paint, it's a big win for us in that category. Made a couple youthful turnovers down the stretch, but had an open 3 with under a minute to go to cut it to 1. We were right there. So super proud of what we're building and what we can become. And our veterans led us, but I think you saw the potential of 2 rookies and the rim protection that we didn't have last year with Cameron brings defensive ability. And then you saw the offensive potential from Rakia. So just really, really excited. We've had 12 practices with this group.
Questions for players?
This question for Dearica. Obviously, I'm not career high 27 points, but it wasn't easy going up against the defensive presence of Asia Wilson. Just talk a little bit about your game and why you ever be comfortable with this offense. You said just having 12 days of practice.
I just think the belief from my coach and my teammates just to be aggressive. Got out to a easy start, quick, like 6 points, and I kind of shied away a little bit. Second half, when I went in the locker room, I told myself, like, you're the best player on the floor, and like go out there and show that. And the flip switch, or the switch flipped.
Dearica, Kevin with Fuel Sports Network. Your return to Vegas for the second season was very, very different from last season.
Mhm.
What, besides that mental talking that you had with yourself in the locker room, what else helped you lead this team and show that your veteran presence is what's going to help this team in the future to be a contender?
Last year when I came in here, I was obviously fresh with postpartum. Very different emotions. Very, very emotional last time I came in here. And this time I came in here and I joked to my teammates. I said, I'm not going to be soft this year. But yeah, like I said, just the belief. I told myself, I told the coaches before this year started that I was going to do what I was going to do. So just happy to be here and proud of this team.
We have a virtual question with Infanity TV.
Hey, it's DJ from Infanity TV. This question is for This question is for Coach Miller. Coach, the team had some foul trouble today. Can you talk about how you addressed that in practice and how it impacted the game today?
Yeah, appreciate the question. I'll come back to it. Let's ask questions to the players first so we can get them out. I'll come back to that, I promise you.
Okay. Go ahead, Khari.
Hey, Coach, I know you have mentioned this is a Bills season, so Lexie, can you elaborate on what are your thoughts on just where you guys move? What are the things you saw today?
I saw a lot of fight from this group. We had some people put in positions that they haven't been put in all of camp and any practices. Ricky sliding to the 3, me sliding to the 1. When they got that double-digit lead, we could have folded, we could have crumbled, and we didn't. We fought back. So this is a special group. It's a lot of positivity, but we have a lot of learning to do. But the best thing about this group is everyone is so willing to learn. So I'm excited.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I just you got shaken up a little bit there. Everything okay with you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then Dearica, you mentioned that sort of the emotion was more muted this time. Is that also a part of the fact that you're very linked to this LA franchise now?
Partly, I know I want to be here. I've expressed that to the coaches. I don't know if many people know, but when I got traded, I asked to come to LA. So I believe in this franchise and what they've done, and I wanted to play for Curt. So yeah, I'm just gonna show up and do what I can do every night and lead this team.
Lexie, we spoke during preseason on a Zoom about, your athletes have limited season and just your chat and your announcement. Now you're 2 games into the season, feel a little more comfortable. Curt said before the game that, you found a home and the team has invested in you and you. Where's your mental state right now in terms of just now that the season's underway and how comfortable you are and sort of at peace with your career?
Yeah, my mental is great. I've said it leading up to the season. The season is one of gratitude. I'm just happy that I'm able to wake up every day and play basketball because there was a time where I was unsure if I was going to be able to play again. But yeah, this franchise has invested in me. Long term, my teammates believe in me in a way I've never had teammates believe in me before. So again, I wake up every day with so much gratitude and I'm excited to go to work every day. I'm excited to go to the gym every day and see them. And, you know, I'm just really excited about this group.
Last question for players.
Dearica, you mentioned the last time that you were here, you were postpartum, and there are so many women in this league who are mothers and who are coming back from having children and finishing up their career or continuing their career. Can you talk a little bit about sort of what that journey's been like for you? Because you have been recognized as the Sixth Woman of the Year multiple times, but now you're a leader for your team as a veteran and a mother, and I imagine that's a different type of experience for you.
Yeah, I joked and said, you know, I got better after Maya and I got better after Legend. So I think the more kids you have, the better you get. No, but I blinked for a second. Can you re-ask that really fast? The beginning part of it?
Yeah, imagine this is.
Oh yeah, I got you. Okay. Every woman every athlete in the W that gets pregnant has a different story when they come back. And obviously I did something that, you know, in hindsight's a little bit crazy, but that doesn't discredit the other women that are coming back on their journey. So yeah, shout out to moms.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Let's go. Let's see if we have questions for Curt next. And we'll start with Infanity TV.
Yeah, repeat that question.
Hey, Coach, it's DJ from Infanity TV. Going back to the question about the foul trouble that the starting five and the entire team has, how will you address that in practice, and how did it impact today's game?
Yeah, it's the maturation with some of our young players. We want to be physical. We want to try to dictate and disrupt with some of our defensive philosophies. You know, anyone who's followed my career here now in the WNBA, I have enjoyed the defensive end of the floor with physicality, and had some of the best defensive teams during my time, and we're trying to establish that. But again, we have some players that are in more prominent roles than they've ever been, and we have some young players. So there's a growth on how to adjust to how the officials are calling things, and at times pick our battles. There's some times where they just win a possession, and we may have to let that one go to fight another possession. And we definitely, we talk all the time, we've got to get rid of the 94 feet fouls at the other end and get rid of those. But it's going to be maturation with this group all year. Like Lexie mentioned and the players mentioned, we are having a blast right now teaching this group. They're so open-minded. There's tons of positivity. There's a lightness that I have not felt as a head coach in this league. Obviously, it is different for me to be back in a build, but I am absolutely having the time of my life, and we can't wait to see where this goes.
2 virtual questions. Eric first, and Brad, you'll come second.
Hey, Coach. You go scoreless for over 4 minutes in the second quarter. You lose Lexie Brown to a foot injury, yet you manage to claw within 4 points in the fourth quarter. What type of resolve does this team have, and how does Lexie exemplify the team's grit?
Yeah, really proud of everybody there, and for Lexie coming back in showed a lot of toughness after a scary potential ankle injury down underneath the basket. So we talked in the locker room about that 14-3 run to end the second quarter and go into halftime. We lost some momentum, and it was started by a hustle play from Kate Martin off the foul line, and that's what this league, it's just such splitting hairs. It's such a fine line between winning and losing. That hustle by Kate Martin started that run. So we talked about that, but we also remind our players that it's a game of runs. And when we got to the fourth quarter, last game, our first night out this year, it was tied going into the fourth quarter, and we had a tough first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. We wanted to redeem ourselves. We wanted to step up and show that we could compete in a fourth quarter. And our team really came out and showed that toughness and showed that resolve. We were a play away from that becoming really, really interesting down the stretch. And just so proud of our grit. That is growth from game 1 to game 2 in that fourth quarter.
Brad.
Yes, hi, Coach. I would love if you could speak of your offense. You did really good under the rim, 52 points in the paint. Why do you think that was so successful today?
Yeah, I thought, we did a really good job of moving the basketball and moving people and not getting stuck on one side of the floor. 34 made baskets is a really high number in this league. And so just, proud that we kept attacking, and we're committed to getting the ball to the paint. And when appropriate, we'd kick out, but we had a better night rolling and separating and on some of our pick and rolls and found some success with that. So that's how I love to play. I think you establish points in the paint, and paint allows you to have easier nights at the arc. So big night for us in the paint.
I thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Carlos Smith across the line there. Coach Cameron did a great job on the defensive end, and Rakia Jackson offensively did a great job scoring. Can you talk about their level of play today and just how well they managed expectations being drafted so early?
Yeah, again, what doesn't always show up in a stat line, I thought Cameron really affected at the defensive end with her rim protection. I know they credited her with 5 blocks, but, Cameron also, alters shots. So her defensive presence, while she didn't have as good of an offensive night as she's going to have and is capable of having, she really impacted the game that way. And she got on the defensive glass with 8 defensive rebounds. So excited about Cameron, got to continue to put her in positions to be successful offensively. What a great, lesson out of the gate. You had Tina Charles and then you had Asia Wilson. So it just doesn't get any easier in that position in our league. And then Rakia, again, is a special talent offensively, and she sparked us, was really efficient, made a couple big threes there in the first half, and we slid her down to the 3. And Lexie mentions it. Lexie hasn't played not 1 second of point guard in training camp, and she had to play point guard tonight. And then Rakia, it's been multiple days since we've given her some reps at the 3. And tonight, in the flow of it, had to throw her to the 3 and thought she really handled that. She showed her versatility. She can be an undersized face-up 4 that's hard to match up with. And eventually, she's just going to get better and better at the 3 in this position in this league. So I'm excited. I'm excited about those young lottery picks. They're just scratching the surface. They've had 12 pro practices, and they just competed against a back-to-back champion like they belong, and they do belong.
Last question.
Yeah, Curt, forgive me, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable question, but during the course of this game, the league acknowledged it is investigating Las Vegas because of this deal with the Las Vegas Convention Visitor Bureau, obviously because of the idea of extra benefits. I know you may not want to comment specifically on that, but especially as somebody who's been an executive in the league, how big of a concern is it from a competitive balance standpoint versus allowing teams to, take advantage of situations they can find with sponsorship?
Yeah, I really have no comment because I'm a little bit uneducated about everything going on, unfortunately, as me as well as anybody in here, I don't have many hobbies, and all I do is watch film. And so I'm a little naive on what the heck's going on, but I'm excited that the league is in a really, really fun position with the viewership and the eyes on our game, the talent that is in our game, the upcoming expansion that's going to happen in this league. Like women's basketball, it's an amazing product in this league. Amazing product in this league. We win people over once we get people to our games, and we have an opportunity to explode this game. And I'm really excited about that. That's what I would like to mention. And then lastly, just on a personal note, there is crazy amounts of injuries around the league already to some of our stars. And I am sending out my personal well wishes to all of them. Our league is better when our stars are healthy and playing, and you could put together an all-star team right now with our injuries the first week into the season. And so my heart, my prayers, and my healthy vibes are sent out to the players around this league because I want to see everybody as healthy as possible.
Thank you, Curt.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Hey, Infanity TV, we are back. We just wrapped the press conference with Coach Miller, Lexie Brown was there, and Dearica Hamby is there. We're going to talk about it, so stay put. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break, so keep it locked.
And these are the breaks. These are the breaks. You know what it is.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good. 3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
LA Sparks Weekly Show. We are back from commercial break. I am DJ, and I am in the studio here with Khari. We just wrapped the press conference, and we got to talk to Coach Miller, as well as Dearica Hamby and Lexie Brown. Start to unpack what just happened there in the press conference from your perspective.
I'm still unpacking it, literally. I'm still got to process everything, like, because he's excited.
Yep.
You know what I mean, about the build that he knew. He knew coming into the season that it was a build, so he's seeing what we all seeing. They fighting hard against, especially a team like the Aces.
Yeah.
So he like what he's seeing from his 2 rookies. That he's really excited about them. You know, just seeing how they fought hard. Like you just said, Cameron had 5 blocks.
That's 5 blocks. Really, I didn't even know that stat was there. She actually had more blocks than the whole Aces team together.
She's balling. she's balling, and she's feisty too. That's why she got her 4th foul. So she's gonna learn. She's young. But also Rakia, 13 points.
Yeah,
like,
off the bench.
Off the bench.
Yeah.
That is, I don't think people are seeing like what we're watching right in front of our eyes with these 2 rookies.
Yep.
Literally.
So Coach in the press conference talked about moving Rakia from the 4, undersized 4, to the 3 position.
Because she's versatile.
So what do you think, how do you think that will impact her actual game? Because it looks like from
it's gonna
today's
open her
game,
up.
she got more shots.
It's going to be just like how she was in college. She's going to be ISO, and she's, you know, they're already confident. You know what I mean? So she's going to come in there. She's going to be able to really be her true self.
Yeah. And a little bit more, let's talk about Cameron Brink. Because she had those 5 blocks, she had those 4 fouls, and she only scored 3 points. So my personal opinion is once she gets the foul thing worked out, she'll get to be able to get those rebounds and then put it back and actually score. What are you thinking about her actual impact to the game in the scoring column?
I feel like it's going to take some time. I feel like it's going to take the entire season to see where she's going to be offensively. Some nights she might have it, some days she might. But I feel like she's always going to lean on her defensive score.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, throughout the season, she's going to grow. She can shoot. She's going to
work
work on that. She can get to the bucket. I don't think people see that. She can dribble and go to the bucket.
Yep.
So don't sleep on Cameron Brink.
Don't sleep on Cameron Brink. Y'all heard this here. And another thing that I wanted to talk about with Cameron Brink was her help side defense on Dearica Hamby. Dearica Hamby knows the Aces in and out. She's a past player. She's played a lot with Asia Wilson in practice. And I was really impressed by how much she actually went and faced up with Asia, affected the shot, and then Cameron Brink comes over the top to either get the block or affect the shot.
And you can't teach that.
You can't teach that kind of defense.
That's what I'm saying. So once she don't even know what she's doing out there right now. She just playing. That's why she's fouling so much.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just be out there fouling. you know, she's jumping everywhere. She wants to get everything, so that's a great thing.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about the Sparks bench because Rakia was definitely the star off the bench. Zaya Cook had 4 points off the bench. Everybody else put up zeros.
And we got to be honest, like we can't have that.
We cannot have that.
Area, you got to get buckets. Like you know what I'm saying. I said like in the beginning of the season, like the way you played in the off season, you have to come in here and get buckets, literally. So
yeah,
you know they need you right now. You know,
for sure,
you can score. Go get it.
Definitely go get it and create some offense for yourself. The shock for me tonight was that Ari McDonald didn't score more. Now we know that Vegas has a bunch of elite guards and Jackie Young and Alicia Clark and all of these catch and shoot guards. I was shocked that Ari wasn't going up against them and fighting fire with fire a little bit more, especially when we saw how she played in the first season game. What are your thoughts about Ari McDonald?
It's mental. She can go. She can score. Like I just said, the way she was playing this offseason, she develops. She works out. She has a scoring ability. It's all mental. Go out there and get a bucket.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We know you can do it. So I feel like it's gonna take her throughout the season as well to get adjusted. She just got playing. She just really went to the playoffs and things like that.
Yep. In Perth, she played in Australia. The player that I'm looking for to be most improved off the bench is Lee. Okay, Lee Yuru is 6'6". She can block.
Let's talk about that.
I haven't seen her be as athletic as we thought. Now she had I think 4 fouls too. I'm sorry, she had 2 fouls. But it seems like that has been 8 minutes, 2 fouls, and she was involved a lot in that grittiness. I'm looking forward to seeing more offensive scoring and more basketball IQ coming from Lee. What are your thoughts on the center?
I'm just thinking like, well, they didn't cut Billings to keep Lee, so come on, let's see what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like once she get more comfortable with the offense and things like that, she's dominant. She'll get things going.
Yeah, because she's been a professional player for a while. I saw her come. She hit Asia with the elbow today. I was like, okay. This is some really, really gritty playing that we seeing from Lee. But I'm excited to see her score because Dearica is going to need some help on that 5 position. We've got Azare Stevens out, and we need another center that we can rely on.
Yeah, Lee is perfect. You know, they know what they got with her. They know it's going to take throughout the season for her to really get comfortable. So once Lee open up, watch out for her as well.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, the Sparks could not take home the win. They lost to the Vegas Aces, 82-89.
But why is the energy, though? The energy is not like we lost.
It's not, but there are no moral victories in basketball.
He said that. He did say that.
We said that a lot last year, too. And though the energy was right, it's tough to open up your season with your second game being against the reigning champions.
Right.
There's something to be said about playing in that position your second game and having to find that grittiness with a couple injuries even because Ray Burrell was out tonight as well, which she brings a huge spark of energy off the bench. So I think all in all, I give the Sparks an 8 out of 10 on effort. There was some silly turnovers. We fouled too much. We didn't get back in on defense as much as we needed to. We allow way too many 3-point shots from a Vegas team that is lethal with Kelsey Plum, Alicia Clark, Jackie Gray. They didn't even have in Chelsea. Chelsea was out. So imagine what that team is going to look like when they back put together.
Oh, man, watch out.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. So let's transition into who do you think was your player of the game today?
I have to say Rakia.
Off the bench.
Literally off the bench with 13. That was huge. If she didn't come with that 13, it was a blowout.
It was a blowout. It was
a blowout. And I'm pretty sure that was an unexpected 13. Like the way he was talking about it, like Rakia, like, well, you know what I mean, how excited Curt was. That was an unexpected 13 for Rakia. And he's proud of that, and he know he can build upon that. So that she's my player of the game.
She's your player of the game. All right, I'm gonna go with Old Faithful Dearica Hamby being the top player of the game. I think having a 20-point game 3-4 times in a row.
Yeah,
she playing like the all-star she want to be. She is now showing us she's getting it back in blood from last season where she wasn't. She played 40 games, the only Sparks player to play. Coming off of having that baby every game. Now she's coming. She's played USA basketball. She's developed her game. She's also played with Cameron Brink in USA basketball.
She did.
So they got a little bit of synergy there. Dearica Hamby did a great job with 29 points.
Literally,
just for me.
Literally.
Just for me.
No, I can say I'm proud of that one too as well. Like she's going.
All right, Sparks fans. We have had a great game today. We're excited to see some Saturday basketball on ABC in the middle of the day. Let's talk about that nationally televised game as well. We are going to be here after every single Sparks game. Make sure you subscribe to the Infanity TV YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram so you can keep it locked and stay up on all things players. Thank you so much for tuning in to another show of LA Sparks Weekly, and we will see you next game.